am really honored to have Stuart Anderson, Reverend Wanda Thompson, Minister Norman Nixon, and Dr. Nicole Johnson Douglas, all who are playing critical parts in putting this event together. So, Stuart, I want you to open us up and just, give that big blast about what's going to happen on Saturday. And then we're going to kind of peel away the onion and talk about the other parts to this that really make this commemoration what it is.
Let me first apologize for the lighting in my office. I have no idea what's going on.
All right. Well, what we're going to do while you figure out the lighting, Reverend Thompson, I'm going to go to you.
Okay.
Let's talk about the prayer breakfast.
All right. Well, the prayer breakfast is going to be held on Saturday from 10 to 12. It's going to be at the Black Box on the campus of the ARC, 1801 Mississippi Avenue Southeast. And tickets are still available. The donation is $25. People can register online or they can come. We have a limited number that will be available at the door. And during the prayer breakfast, of course, we're going to be honoring Dr. King. We're going to have prayer. We're going to have song. We're going to have performances. We're going to have the spoken word. Our guest speaker is the Reverend Dr. E. Gail Anderson Holness, who's a local attorney, but not only is she an attorney, she's also the liaison from the Department of Behavioral Health to local churches as well, too. She's a dynamic speaker, as she often says, from the soils of South Carolina. So we're just grateful and looking forward to having everybody to come out. And we just invite everybody, again, to come out and join us Saturday, 10 to 12 on the campus of the ARC at the Black Box, 1801 Mississippi Avenue Southeast.
I always want to thank you, Dr. Thompson, Reverend Thompson, Reverend Dr. Thompson, for coordinating this prayer breakfast every year. And it's really a great event. And you just don't, I know that when we say prayer breakfast, we're not just talking about Christian prayer, right?
Exactly.
So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. The affair is intergenerational and it's also interfaith. And over the years, we've had representation from the Christian, the Muslim, and the Jewish community. This year, we will be having prayers by the Christian and the Muslim communities. Unfortunately, this year, I wasn't able to secure a rabbi to come. If anyone's listening and you are interested, you can contact me. We certainly have room for that. But again, it is intergenerational, interfaith, and that's because we want this to be an inclusive affair. And so, again, we just encourage everyone to come out because Dr. King was about inclusivity.
Right. Okay. And if I have to say so myself, the food is always great.
Absolutely.
Good breakfast. So, Dr. Nicole Johnson Douglas and Norm Nixon, you all are bringing in this youth component. We've been talking about youth, but you all are actually bringing, where we'll get a chance to see the talents of our young people. Talk about the Youth Leadership Institute and what you all have in store on Saturday. And either one of you can start that conversation.
Well, I guess I'll start. So we have pulled together the essay contest for our young people of the District of Columbia, grades 4 through 12. And we have been able to touch every sector of our education system, which we're excited about. We had 106 young people to enter this year.
That's amazing.
This is the first year since we have taken on this task that we have reached the 100 mark, but also exceeded the 100 mark. I heard you talk about those young ladies, and I heard them talk about the need to start young. I want to say our middle schoolers really brought it home. There were 60 middle schoolers that participated in this year's essay contest, which is oftentimes that age group that's oftentimes forgotten about. So I am really glad that they were able to participate. Our young people wrote on the topic, the dream, what does it mean to you? And on tomorrow, Saturday, January 14th at 1 p.m. at the DOES Community Room located at 4058 Minnesota Avenue Northeast, we will be announcing our winners of each category. where each of our divisions will have a first, second, and third place winner. Our first place winners will receive $300 as well as have their essays published by the Washington Informer. Our second prize winner will receive $200, and our third prize winners will receive $100. And this has been a labor of love that has been produced by the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute Alumni Association, as well as a number of our partnering organizations that we definitely appreciate. And I'm going to let Norm talk about our intentional effort to bring unity to this for this year.
Thanks, Norman. Go ahead.
Thanks, Dr. Johnson. Our future is, because next year she's going to be the chair. I'm handing over the mantle already.
I know that.
One of the things I always said about what we do, we bring so many people together with this effort, is that we have to continue to work together throughout the year. We can't shut down after the parade is over. And this year, we have every Divine Nine organization, the Prince Hall Masons, the Order of the Eastern Star are involved. And they were judges this year for the competition, and they have agreed to do some things together jointly. And the AKAs are even doing a service project that day with us. So that's phenomenal. And I told them I'm going to work you all. And next year, hopefully, I'm setting already a pre-goal. I said next year we're gonna get 200. We're gonna get 200 essays in.
Well, the numbers have gone up every year, and every time we talk about, or I hear you all talk about doing an essay contest, there's always that voice in the room that says, which I'm not saying they're incorrect, but saying kids don't write essays. That's not what we ought to do. We ought to do, which is fun, spoken word, art, photography, and at some point it may expand to those things. But the point is that essays are growing every year, and more young people are participating. And you all just need to be really commended for just making it happen. You just make it happen. And how did it happen? What did you all do? Just put a notice out, or what?
I think we've worked over the years with teachers and administrators in the schools, and they, we've had classrooms that just the teacher makes that an assignment for the young people during their winter break. And so we've grown that. And I really think that this is therapy for young people too, because they write about these topics and it makes them go within the side of themselves and really think about what's on their mind. And so I think that's so very important as well.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, I can't wait to read them, at least the first place winners. And I might, depending on space, we might have to make some space for the second and third. Why not?
Right.
I remember, I'm going to tell a quick story, but when I first met Councilmember Trayon White, I'm trying to find it now. He was upset because the school wanted to kick him off of the basketball team because he was locking his hair. And it just happened to be around the time of the Martin Luther King holiday. And I said, why don't you, since you want to stand for something, write an essay about how Dr. King's life influenced you? And he did. So I'm trying to find that because I'm going to try to pull it out and see where he is today. And you all can say the same thing about the Institute's Alumni Association and some of the leaders in our community that came through that program. So kudos to you all. Stuart, are you ready to talk about the parade and Peace Walk? You can unmute yourself now.
Yes.
You got light.
First
I
and
see
foremost,
the light.
right, I'm gonna bring. I figured the light out. I thought it was good, but I guess not. But it's great now. I think that I've been in the presence of everybody on the show today, except for Dr. Nicole. Happy New Year's, Dr. Nicole. So look, man, we are all set for MLK Holiday DC, honoring life and legacy of one of our greatest civil rights leader, 2023. We are actually 2 days and about 14 hours away from being in the streets, and it looks like we're going to have a lovely day for the celebration.
Fantastic.
So I've heard Ron, everybody talked about some of what we're going to be having as it relates to the parade. Of course, I have a few people sitting in a conference room now. We're working out and we're working on this. If you're listening now, stop calling us. Stop calling us. We're going to call you as soon as we get this lineup together. We're working on this lineup right now to get everything. We want to balance it out, make it look great, make it look good. So on Monday, January 16th, assembly will start at 9 a.m. We're going to convene. The staging area will be the Rise Center, 2730 MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. That's where we'll start at. Most people who participate in this parade, you know where it is. We're asking people to take public transportation and let us shuttle you up from.
So that's for I want to talk about the general audience, Stuart, because you're giving, I mean, we're gonna have 1,000 people trying to get on a shuttle. So, you know, the general public just needs to know what.
So basically that we're going the route from the Rise Center to Anacostia Park. We're going north on MLK or down MLK, depending on your vantage point and how you make the statement. So we'll start at the step off will be 11 a.m. The parade will leave the Rise and it'll end in our reviewing stand. It'll be on MLK between W and V. For those who have been confused about, well, what about this peace walk? And I thought you start at 10. What is going on? So the peace walk will start where Malcolm and Martin meet. That's Malcolm X Avenue, Martin Luther King Avenue, right in Shepherd Park. There'll be a rally there. There'll be a little bit of a peace rally. After the peace rally, they'll step off. Depending on the number of people, could change that step off time. But right now, the step off time for the peace walk is by 10:45. The peace walkers will be moving down MLK, going north on MLK, past the Rise Center. And as they pass the Rise Center, the parade procession will begin to come out onto MLK and go north on MLK, down MLK, past Matthews Memorial, Campbell Baptist Church, Bethlehem, across Howard Road, and past the reviewing stand, and then we'll get the good old road and we'll make that left going right into the Anacostia Park where the procession will end.
Want to also bring out the fact that you have the 4 grand marshals. One just happens to be on this screen. But when you talk, can you talk about the grand marshals that we're going to honor this year?
We have 4 phenomenal grand marshals. These are people who have been doing great work in the community. And as Denise Rolark Bonds has just said, we have Pastor Wanda Thompson from Ambassador Baptist Church right here with us on the screen. She is one of our grand marshals. Also, many of you will remember Yango Sawyer-Ill. Yango Sawyer-Ill has been involved with the peace walk and the parade forever. He's a guy who actually brought me to the table. We're honoring Yango as a grand marshal this year, 2023. Along with Dr. Thompson and Yango, we're also honoring and lifting up Sandra Seegers, a well-known community activist who lives right here in Ward 8. She's I don't know if she's Ward 8 Etonian or not, but she lives right here with us. She's been with us. She's been trying to protect this community. So we're lifting her up as one of our grand marshals, along with none other than the president of the University of the District of Columbia, Mr. Ron Mason. And so Pastor Thompson, she got to work, so she's not gonna ride in the procession, right? But you'll see her around, right? She's gonna be doing some work. She was like, y'all can honor somebody else. But we did a poll, and that's how we got to these 4 grand marshals who we would be lifting up, because the work that they do is in line with the ideas, the dreams, and the philosophies of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
And whether people know it or not, the University of the District of Columbia has had a branch of the university over here in Southeast for many years, but now they're in the old Congress Heights School, where there's a lot of adult education classes going on. So we really welcome them and welcome President Mason. Reverend Thompson, you had a word?
She's muted.
Yes.
I don't know how to unmute myself.
There you go.
You're good.
All right. Yes. I just wanted to say, for all of the events we have, I guess we should also mention our theme, which is recapture the dream.
Yes.
Lift every voice till victory is won. So that's the theme across all of our events.
Yes, recapture the dream, lift every voice till victory is won. So people will know that we got those from a couple of different places and we put them all together. We put a lot of thoughts into this. And as you all know, we've been blessed to have Martin Luther King III with us in the past and his family. We haven't gotten word that they're going to come this year, but sometimes they just show up. And I know that Ron Moten was trying to get Stevie Wonder back here because we wanted to also uplift the happy birthday song. We actually should have ended with that, but I don't know how YouTube would have handled that. But at any rate, looks like it's going to be a great affair. Any closing remarks from anybody?
And come on out. Bring the family out. It's going to be warm. Get your lawn chairs. All that complaining we do about people sitting on our corners, we're not going to complain on Monday. Y'all come on out with your lawn chairs.
And know that MPD will be closing down Martin Luther King Avenue early on Monday morning. So you are going to have to get out early, 9:30. Yeah.
If you need to go across the 11th Street Bridge to get away from Southeast, or you need to get in Southeast, make sure you do it before 9:30. MPD will close it down from Malcolm X to Good Hope Road. All righty. I want to thank you all for being with us. Most of all, thank you for the hard work that you've done. I know all of those members of the civil rights movement who are no longer with us, but looking down on us. I'm hoping that we are making them happy and proud to know that we're keeping not only Dr. King's legacy alive, but also the whole legacy of the movement. Talking about movements, the movement to make this community a better place. Yes. And you all play such a vital role in that. So thank you for being with us today.